I bid you welcome.
So, how did you feel when you first watched You saw Mr. NoFace? How did you feel, Mr. Smiley Face, Mr. Wiggle Arm?
Mr. Wiggle Arm. Disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know, man. It was so. I mean, the way it's been marketed and the way it's all been built up, right? You know, it's been built up to be, this proves the existence of ghosts. This is proof. And it's built up and it's marketed in such a way that you're expecting to see something like, whoa. And when that doesn't happen, you're like, you know?
You know the clip in the clip in Poltergeist, the original, not the remake, the original, where they've got the apparition and it glides down the staircase.
Yeah.
And they're filming it and they're saying, "You getting this?" And it's like a woman that she glides down.
Right. Yeah.
I was expecting something like that, you know?
Yeah.
Something that was like groundbreaking in the sense of, oh my god, this is
the movie itself, right? So the Sir NoFace movie, it's like it's like an hour and 35 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's like a 10-second clip. So it's 10 seconds 10 seconds of actual footage and then an hour and 35 minutes of padding.
Yeah.
But that's not to say I didn't enjoy the movie. I did enjoy it. I enjoyed watching it. But it was still a letdown, and you feel, even though I enjoyed the movie, I still felt like I was fucking ripped off.
I got the impression that it was over edited. It was too much transitions and crazy stuff going on and jumping up on the screen and words popping up.
It's this fucking Chad, whatever the fuck is. Every minute he's flying to Australia. I gotta go back to Australia. I need to check to see that I have some questions for. Every minute he's flying to Australia. It's like
I must say that.
No wonder he's charging $20 to rent this fucking thing. All the flights to Australia must be costing him a fortune.
Loads of money. But
yeah.
The thing is, I got a bit cringed out on one point.
Which one? Which part?
When he started talking about that there's no better place in the world to do that. We do the best research. The American teams do the best research, and I started getting a bit cringed out then because I'm thinking you're pigeonholing yourself now because there are a lot of good teams, researchers in the world that do a lot of research,
right?
And then he showed the team from Australia,
right?
And they all had like stab vests on. With their names in like military lettering, and they were all dressed in black.
They all got special T-shirts on with like Ghost Squad, whatever.
Well, they were wearing like a mesh over jacket, like what you would imagine a stab vest to look like.
It was like one of those camera vests with all the pockets.
Yeah.
And then they have like their names like Joe. Jeff.
Like it's some sort of military outfit.
Just in case they forget who they are, they can just glance and look at their name sewn in on their jacket.
Now, I'm not saying, that you shouldn't do that. I mean, if you want to dress like that, dress like that. Of course,
yeah, absolutely.
If you go back to like the 1970s and 80s, a ghost investigator would come up to your house. He would have a briefcase. In that briefcase would be a notepad, a pen, maybe a tape recorder. He'd have a little camera over his shoulder. He'd be wearing a tweed jacket with a little bit of a beard, and he'd be puffing on a pipe.
And he'd have glasses on.
And his name would be Derek or
Derek,
Mr. Richards or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He wouldn't turn up.
Mr. Richards, could you tell us about your latest investigation?
Well, of course, I was at church last week, and we saw this giant dog. It jumped over a fence, and it nearly bit me, and then it vanished.
But don't you think that was actually a real dog, Mr. Richards?
Well, I thought that at the time, but I don't know. I passed out, and I woke up in a field the next morning.
We then went to the local vicarage and talked to the priest on duty that night, Father Malachi Martin. Father,
yes, well,
could you tell us what happened when Mr. Richards attacked the dog?
Well, I was in my actually I was taking a bath, and I was actually kind of nude.
Yes.
So I wasn't near the window. So
Yes.
I was watching him, and I saw him fall, and there was this large black thing, and it kind of enveloped him. I must admit, I got mildly aroused.
Oh, it's incredible. We then went to the Bristol Public Library, did some research on the black dog phenomena. We there talked to its curator, Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson, what do you think about this?
Well, the black dog phenomenon has been around for many hundreds of years. It has many people have seen them, and they usually are a large dog or a wolf, but we're still not sure what they are.
Now, that's the way a good ghost documentary should be, folks, okay?
Exactly.
Not this fucking cutting every minute and fading the thing black and white and grainy, and then a weird angle, and then it's not a vlog, right? You're supposed to be doing some serious fucking paranormal research to make a serious documentary, but you're cutting it together like you're doing Jersey Shore or the fucking some reality show nonsense.
Well, that's what I like about the old radio shows and the old documentaries, is because they're actually there's none of that. It's just a film. It's just a program, a documentary, and they give you the information.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So, Sir NoFace, right? This documentary that appeared on Vimeo. So you sit down, you're ready to watch it.
I am, yeah.
Tell me, let's go through step by step what your thoughts were about it.
Well, when it started, I was completely open-minded, but then all the intercuts came and all the transitions started, all the pop-ups and that.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I hope this doesn't go like this all the way through the film, because I'm going to get a migraine. But then I thought, where is the ghost stuff? I don't want to know about his friends. I don't want to know about his children. I don't want to know about his family. I want to know about the phenomenon that apparently is being researched and has been captured.
Right.
And I started to dawn on me that this was what evidence was going to be presented was going to be a very small portion of this documentary as a whole. Because let's be honest, the documentary, you could have really put it into sort of 25 minutes. Half an hour tops.
Dude, yeah, this could have been a 20-minute movie and been and still been on. It would have been incredible.
It would have been great.
It could have been 20 minutes and that would have been it, not fucking an hour and a half.
But you couldn't have charged $14 for it.
Yeah.
You could have charged maybe $5.
So the marketing campaign, the price, it just reeked of ripoff. And when you watch the movie, it as far as the paranormal stuff is, it completely is. You feel cheated and ripped off and all that shit. But having said all that, I did enjoy watching the movie. It wasn't like, after 20 minutes, I didn't rage quit and turn off the TV.
I did enjoy it. It was high quality.
It was, but it was also very much like. I want to be Zach Bagans, but I'm not quite there yet.
Yeah. Well, actually, interesting that these two films come out around the same time, I think, didn't they?
Yeah.
And, I mean, I must admit, I was more connected by watching Demon House than this film, than NoFace. I was more connected.
But Demon House is a better movie than Sir NoFace. But the 10-second clip in Sir NoFace, if it's real, is far more impressive than the shadows and stuff in Demon House.
Yes. Well, I must admit, I knew something was coming, and you didn't give anything away, but I kind of knew something was coming, and I'm watching it, and you must admit we've gone through this whole film, and you get to the end, and you're like, well, when's this going to happen? And then he starts to talk through it, and this is what we captured, and he shows it in segments.
Well, here's another thing that kind of put me off guard, though, right? Because it's like an hour and a half, and I kept thinking, well, he's going to wait until the last possible minute to show the clip, but he didn't. The actual clip of Sir NoFace was like 40 minutes into it. It was like 40 minutes into the movie, he actually shows the evidence. You get the money shot 40 minutes into it. Then the remaining of the movie is him investigating whether or not that clip is real, or whether these Australian guys are are up to no good.
Yeah. Playing with a bit of the old photo suite or whatever.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing was that somebody did actually see allegedly see an apparition of a child. Well, one of the Australian ghost investigators saw an apparition of a child at this place. And they deduced that the way that this apparition, because for anyone, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it already, don't turn off now, because if you don't want to hear any more. But spoiler alert, the way that this apparition, because you're watching a doorway of a doorway, and it's a night vision camera which is facing out of a room. Yeah. And all of a sudden, this figure literally leans out of behind a wall, right, and looks, and then leans back in again, and it does look like a person, but it looks like it's got something very odd about it. It's something. It's very strange. It doesn't look.
It moves oddly,
it's like very mechanical, and it's also very. It seems like it's part of the background. It's like blurred. It's like,
and there's no face. You can see outlines of eyes. You can see eyes, but there's no. You can't. You can't make out a nose or a mouth. No hair.
Mouth.
And the thing they did because when at first they thought it was an adult, but then when they tried to recreate it and did the tests, they could see that it was significantly small. It was like a small child.
Yeah, it was all out of whack when all the dimensions were all out of whack.
So here's a quick clip of some of the reviews from Sir NoFace, where they've gone in and reviewed it from people. So we get the creepy music. Oh, hang on. There we go.
Yeah, it looks pretty legit. Definitely the first time you see the entity pop around the corner, I got chills. Like, you get that, like, weird, like, whoa, what was that? You don't get it every time. Like, you keep seeing it, you get a little desensitized to it. But definitely the first time you see it pop up, it's startling. Like, you feel it, it's not just like, what did I just watch? Like, you kind of feel yourself react to it.
I thought it was a great film. I thought the evidence they caught was awesome. Don't believe it was faked. I believe he caught some really good evidence.
I have no words. It's very shocking, and I don't know what else. It's nothing like I've never seen anything like that.
I thought it was amazing. When I actually saw the Sir NoFace, I was like, my jaw dropped. I couldn't believe it. My heart stopped. It was just amazing.
Yeah, well, I never felt any of that. I don't know about you.
I will say that when the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, that's a bit weird. But after that, I was fine. One of the things that I want to pick up on is that I don't know why many groups do this. There are a few out there that do this, but when you set a camera up to record, the best thing to do is set another camera up behind that camera, so that you get a second camera recording the first camera, so any phenomenon you do capture on the first camera is captured on the second camera, but it always already filming the first camera that's capturing the phenomenon, so you have a double whammy to say, well, okay, it's on two cameras.
But then again, you don't know when and where this is going to happen. You have limited resources, limited camera. It's the fact that they even caught this in the first place is pretty.
That team looks like they weren't short of a few pennies. With all that get up they had, all those uniforms and walkie-talkies and all that, they look like a militia.
Yeah.
But who knows? I mean, it's gone kind of. Let's be honest. I haven't heard anything more about it since.
No. Well, here's the strange thing, though, right? So I don't know whether the footage is real or fake. I have no idea.
We can only go by what the evidence presented in that film.
Now, let's just, for argument's sake, say that it is 100% for real, right? And the way that it's presented in the movie is completely factual, and it's real footage. So, if it is in fact real footage, this footage is very important. Okay,
it is, very.
It's very important. So what they did was they took this very real and very important footage, copyrighted the living shit out of it, right? Publicized it, charged for it, and basically made a little cottage industry from this footage and tried to make as much money as they possibly could from this footage. When if it is real, and if it's open to public scrutiny and really real stuff, shouldn't it be freely available for people to see and make up their minds and do research and look into it and you know what I mean?
Yes, I agree there, because that was one of the parts of the film where I was like, what's going on? Because they do actually send the video, let one guy look at it who is apparently he's a CGI expert, and he's done some work on the Avengers.
But see, even that was weird, dude, because it was like,
he was like, yeah, well, I can't really tell. It's too low grade. I don't know.
But
maybe.
What's weird about that, though, and for, you know, there might be he might be the real guy, and I don't know. He might be. I don't know. Was like, and I know this guy. He worked on Transformers. He's a CGI wizard. He can tell me. And then it cuts to the guy, and they're hanging out in his living room, and he shows him the clip on his laptop.
Yeah. You'd think this guy would have a great big like studio, like
exactly.
a PC studio.
You think he'd be able to pull up the clip on his computer in his studio in his lab and do all kinds of tests on it and fucking filters and shit.
That's what I was hoping for.
And he didn't do none of that.
He just watched it a few times and went, yeah, well, it's too low grade. I don't know. It looks real, but it doesn't look CGI. But he did actually do some. Pixel density or something. He did some other shots that was sent to him directly, and he did some to check make sure the pixels where it hadn't been altered around the image, and he said that it didn't look like it, but unfortunately because the camera is of a low grade, it's very hard to tell. So it's, once again, it's like open-ended. It's, well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
So they posted the crowd watching it, their reactions. Here we go. So this is showing the crowd watching the clip. And you see everyone, they're watching it. Everyone screams when he appears. Oh man, I didn't feel that way.
No, I didn't. I was very scientific about it. I wanted to see it, but I wanted to see it in the sense that I wanted to see people being scrutinizing it in a scientific manner. I don't think it went out to enough people, and that's the only problem when you have evidence like this. It usually it's all behind closed doors, and you only get to see the evidence in the sense of. It's in a film or it's in a documentary that you've got to pay for.
Right.
And I'm not saying, like we said before, I mean, you're not saying that people shouldn't be allowed to make money through...
This guy, too, Chad Kalick, the guy who did it, the one who made the movie.
Yeah.
Is he supposed to be famous or something?
I've heard of him before.
I've never heard of this guy. I have no clue.
I think he's kind of like... he's not up there with the... He was in
Zach Bagans, Paranormal State, that show. He was one of those guys, I guess.
He was one of these, like, they used to have these, like, walk-in guests, and they would do stuff on, I mean, let's be honest, Paranormal State, I mean, what's his name that was doing that? He ended up fucking, his name has been dragged through the mud, and he didn't come out of that looking very good. What's his name? The main guy.
It's weird, dude. Because I'm looking at it because he has his own podcast, I guess, Para-American Radio.
Yeah,
where he talks
has
about,
a show. Yeah.
Now he has his own YouTube channel where he does vlogs and stuff. I'm looking at it right now, and I don't know, man. It's like he's got.
You can.
I look at the views on the videos, right? Chat, and I'll listen to this, right? The first video, 99 views. Second video, 150 views. Third video, 277 views. Third video, 84 views. I mean, you go on Zach Bagans or some of these other maniacs, it's fucking hundreds of thousands of views.
Yeah, but he's not at that level. I've heard of the guy, but I know that he's he's on podcast, or he's involved with a podcast, and he's also he's appeared on these, what I call the entertainment shows of the Paranormal State, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He's been on those. I don't know how often he's been on them. But the thing is, it's like that's not difficult.
Yeah.
Because literally, in the early 2000s, anyone with any knowledge of the paranormal could have had a TV show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyone. You and I could have gone to a
we'd be
small
the fucking biggest
TV
stars in the
network, and we would have had a fucking TV show.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we could have called it A Couple of Twats Go Ghost Hunting. And we could dress up like old men.
Hey, Reeves, listen, there's a ghost. Boo. Fucking hell, I'm fucking freezing, mate.
Go get your fag, I'm fucking hungry.
Yeah. Hey, Reeves, I'm gasping. You got a fag on ya? I'll tell you what.
They were giving them away leftovers.
Sitting in this graveyard all night, I'm fucking nobbling, mate. Oh, man. Anyway, so Sir Ghostface, Sir NoFace. Would you recommend people to see it?
Yes, I would recommend that you see it, but I don't recommend that you pay them the money they're asking.
Yeah.
If you do get the opportunity, I'm sure at some point it will be free to watch, and it will be down where no one pays for it anymore, so it will just be on YouTube getting ad revenue.
Yeah.
So, you know.
So I mean, I kind of. I think it's a fun movie. I did enjoy it. It's worth watching. The hype that it's receiving is nowhere in the vicinity of what it should be.
6 out of 10.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Okay, I'd give it.
6 out of 10.
I give it.
I think that
6.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I would say that if you enjoyed, put it this way, if you enjoyed Demon House,
yes,
then you'll most probably, for what it's worth, you'll enjoy this film.
Very true.
Yeah.
All right, cool deal. Sir NoFace.
Yes.
Start Friday at theaters. No, actually, no, it's not. It's only on Vimeo. Check it out if you have the time, inclination, and the cash, because this shit ain't cheap, yo.
No, that's a lot of money.
All right, later.